In the dark corners of history, there are few mysteries as chilling as the Zodiac Killer case. An enigmatic figure who haunted the Bay Area in the late 1960s, leaving behind a trail of terror and cryptic messages. The Zodiac Killer, a name synonymous with fear and enigma, used a symbol that struck terror into the hearts of many. But what lies behind this chilling emblem? Tonight, we delve into the shadowy world of the Zodiac Killer, unraveling his cryptic messages, his gruesome crimes, and the relentless quest for justice that followed. As we begin to unravel the story, we will explore the places where these horrific events unfolded. Join us as we piece together the chilling puzzle of the Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror began in the late 1960s, marking the start of a series of brutal and unexplained murders that would captivate the nation. Let's explore the details of his first known crimes and how they set the stage for his infamous legacy. On December 20th, 1968, David Faraday, 17, and Betty Lou Jensen, 16, two high school students, went on their first date. It has been suggested that they may have attended a pre-Christmas concert at Vallejo's Hogan High School. According to conflicting reports, one magazine article claimed they left the concert at around 10 p.m. and drove to the Lake Herman Road turnout in their 1960 Rambler station wagon, arriving at 10:15 p.m., as per eyewitness Helen Axe. The turnout, known as a lover's lane, is located on the Benicia side of the jurisdictional line with Vallejo and was a popular spot for couples seeking privacy. Unfortunately, their decision to visit the turnout that night would soon turn deadly. Just months after the Lake Herman Road attack, on July 4, 1969, the Zodiac Killer struck again at Blue Rock Springs Park. This time, the victims were 17-year-old Darlene Ferrin and 19-year-old Michael Mageau. The Zodiac approached their parked car, opened fire, and fled the scene. This brutal attack was one of the first to attract significant media attention and marked the beginning of the killer's notorious communication with the press. The Zodiac Killer's initial attacks quickly gained media attention, with sensational headlines and public fear spreading across the Bay Area. The brutality and randomness of these early murders left the community on edge and heightened the urgency for law enforcement to catch the elusive killer. In the aftermath of these initial murders, law enforcement launched a massive investigation, combing through evidence, interviewing witnesses, and following leads. Early theories emerged, ranging from random acts of violence to more calculated and personal motives, but the identity of the Zodiac Killer remained a mystery. Beyond his brutal crimes, the Zodiac Killer left behind a chilling legacy of cryptic messages and complex ciphers. These enigmatic communications taunted authorities and intrigued the public, becoming a central element in the search for the killer. Let's dive into the details of these notorious messages and the ongoing quest to decipher them. On July 31, 1969, the Zodiac Killer sent his first cryptic letter to the San Francisco Chronicle. The letter included a 408-symbol cipher that baffled both the public and police. This cipher was eventually solved by school teachers Donald and Betty Harden, revealing a disturbing message that further fueled the mystery. Following the success of the first cipher, the Zodiac Killer sent another letter on November 8, 1969, containing a 340-symbol cipher. This cipher remained unsolved for decades until December 2020, when a team of private citizens cracked it, revealing more about the killer's twisted mindset. In 1970, the Zodiac Killer sent a brief letter with a 32-symbol cipher. Unlike the previous ones, this cipher was relatively simple and was solved quickly, providing further insights into the killer's communications and his desire to taunt authorities. The content of the Zodiac's letters was not just about cryptic messages. They often included threats and disturbing details about his crimes. The psychological impact on the public and investigators was profound, as these letters fueled anxiety and fear throughout the Bay Area. The solving of Zodiac ciphers has been a collaborative effort involving amateur and professional codebreakers alike. Modern technology and algorithms have played a crucial role in cracking these codes, offering new insights into the killer's identity and motivations. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror extended over several years, claiming numerous victims across the Bay Area. In this section, we will explore the details of each crime, providing a comprehensive look at the individuals who suffered at the hands of this elusive killer. On September 27, 1969, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were at Lake Berryessa when the Zodiac Killer approached them disguised in a hood and a symbol on his chest. He bound Hartnell and fatally stabbed Shepard. This crime was notable for the Zodiac's chilling display of his costume. On October 11, 1969, Paul Stein, a cab driver, was shot and killed in San Francisco. The Zodiac Killer's brazen act of murder in a public space highlighted his audacity and further stoked public fear. Aside from the known victims, there have been other individuals linked to the Zodiac Killer, though these connections remain speculative. The investigation has led to various theories about additional victims and possible suspects. The Zodiac Killer's interactions with law enforcement were marked by a disturbing blend of arrogance and cunning. His communications with the police and media played a significant role in shaping the investigation and public perception. In this section, we'll delve into these interactions and their impact on the ongoing hunt for the killer. The Zodiac Killer's initial communications began with a series of letters sent to local newspapers in 1969. These letters included chilling threats and taunts aimed at both the public and the police. His willingness to communicate openly with the media marked the beginning of a disturbing game of cat and mouse. In 1970, the Zodiac Killer sent a letter to the San Francisco Chronicle containing a disturbing message accompanied by a cryptic symbol. The letter was famously marked with a dripping blood symbol, which added a sinister touch to his taunts. The Zodiac Killer's letters were not only sent to the police, but also to various newspapers. His cryptic messages and ciphers were a way to publicly challenge authorities and engage with the media, further complicating the investigation. The Zodiac Killer also directly interacted with the police through phone calls and letters, often providing cryptic information or taunting them about their progress. These direct communications provided clues, but also added layers of complexity to the investigation. The Zodiac Killer's manipulative tactics extended to the media, where he used his communications to control the narrative and create public fear. By carefully crafting his messages and choosing when and how to release them, he effectively influenced both the investigation and public perception. In the wake of the Zodiac Killer's heinous crimes, extensive searches and investigations were launched to track down the elusive murderer. This section will explore the various search efforts and the crucial testimonies from witnesses that shaped the investigation. The initial response to the Zodiac Killer's crimes involved thorough examinations of the crime scenes. Police searched for evidence, collecting clues and analyzing the surroundings to piece together the killer's movements and methods. Witness statements played a crucial role in the investigation. Survivors and bystanders provided varying accounts of the suspect's appearance and behavior. These testimonies were critical in forming sketches and narrowing down potential suspects. Various suspects were investigated based on witness descriptions and forensic evidence. Public appeals for information and the release of suspect sketches aimed to engage the community in the search for the Zodiac Killer. Despite extensive searches and numerous leads, many efforts to apprehend the Zodiac Killer proved fruitless. Challenges included the killer's ability to evade capture and the limited forensic technology of the time. The search for the Zodiac Killer had lasting effects on law enforcement and the public. It highlighted the limitations of forensic science and the impact of unsolved cases on communities. The case remains one of the most enigmatic and frustrating investigations in criminal history. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Zodiac Killer case is his use of cryptic ciphers and codes. These enigmatic messages, sent to newspapers and law enforcement, challenged investigators and captivated the public. In this section, we will delve into the various ciphers used by the Zodiac Killer and the efforts to decode them. The Zodiac Killer employed a range of ciphers in his communications, each with its own unique challenge. These codes included simple substitution ciphers as well as more complex cryptographic techniques. Deciphering the Zodiac's codes was a complex and often frustrating task for investigators. While some ciphers were cracked relatively quickly, others remained unsolved for years, challenging both amateur and professional cryptographers. Among the Zodiac Killer's most famous codes is the 340-character cipher, which was solved by a team of amateur cryptographers in 2020. This section will explore the significance of this cipher and the methods used to decode it. The Zodiac Killer's ciphers had a profound impact on the public and the media. They became symbols of the killer's intelligence and taunts, fueling widespread fascination and speculation. Today, the Zodiac Killer's ciphers continue to be a subject of interest for cryptographers and enthusiasts. Ongoing research and analysis shed new light on these mysterious codes, maintaining the case's relevance in the field of cryptography. Today, the Zodiac Killer's ciphers continue to be a subject of interest for cryptographers and enthusiasts. Ongoing research and analysis shed new light on these mysterious codes, maintaining the case's relevance in the field of cryptography. Over the years, many individuals have been suspected of being the Zodiac Killer, with numerous theories and investigations examining potential suspects. In this section, we will explore some of the most prominent suspects and theories surrounding the case. Early investigations led to several suspects, including individuals with possible connections to the Zodiac Killer's crimes. This section reviews the initial suspects and the early theories proposed by law enforcement and the public. Several notable suspects have emerged over the years, including Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted child molester with a strong connection to the case. In this section, we will explore these key suspects and the evidence linking them to the Zodiac Killer. With advances in forensic technology and continued public interest, new suspects and theories continue to emerge. This section delves into the most recent theories and suspects that have been considered in the ongoing quest to identify the Zodiac Killer. Psychological profiling has been used to understand the potential characteristics of the Zodiac Killer. This section reviews the psychological profiles developed for the suspected individuals and how these profiles have influenced the investigation. The various suspects and theories have had a significant impact on the public and media's perception of the Zodiac Killer case. This section explores how these theories have shaped the narrative and influenced the investigation. Despite numerous investigations and theories, the identity of the Zodiac Killer remains unknown. In this section, we review the most prominent theories regarding the killer's identity and the challenges faced in solving the case. The Zodiac Killer case has left a lasting impact on society and culture, influencing how we view crime, justice, and fear. This section explores the broader societal and cultural implications of the case and its significance in contemporary discussions. As forensic technology and investigative methods continue to advance, the search for the Zodiac Killer remains ongoing. This section highlights the potential future developments in the case and the prospects for finally solving this infamous mystery. In closing, the Zodiac Killer case remains one of the most perplexing and enigmatic investigations in criminal history. While many questions remain unanswered, the case continues to intrigue and challenge both investigators and the public. Thank you for joining us in this comprehensive exploration of the Zodiac Killer. As we reach the conclusion of our exploration into the Zodiac Killer case, it is important to reflect on the current status of the investigation and its overall impact. This section provides a comprehensive overview of the case's status and the implications for future investigations.